Thank you so much for being with me today. This is Amy L, and you found Healthier with Amy L. Just real quick about me, I've lost more than 75 pounds, kept it off for more than 15 years, and I'm doing these videos as a way to give you some of the things that have helped me. We're together in this journey, and if I can't see you in person, seeing you here, reading your comments really makes a world of difference. It keeps me on track. I hope it gives you some new ideas. I know that this is tough. I'm a woman over 40. I've got small kids. I have a husband and a dog, and there's a lot going on. Trying to figure out how to lose weight or how to keep weight off can be really challenging. So by doing this together, we can get a lot further. Today, I have something really important to talk to you about. It's about being hungry, like legit hungry. You've been following Weight Watchers. You've been tracking your points. You've been doing everything you can. You might even be getting blue dots, but you're hungry, especially at the end of the day. So today I'm going to give you some tips on protein. At the end of this, I'm going to be giving you a tracking challenge as I do every Tuesday in the month of May. But I'm also going to we're not going to talk about chicken breast, right? We're not going to talk about eggs. I'm going to give you some things about why protein is so important and about some unusual ways that you might be able to get some more of it in, sneak some of it in, tell you how much protein you should be getting, and then how you can figure out how much you're getting in a day. So let's start with why protein. Why is protein something that is going to help with your hunger? Protein is really unique in that, especially lean proteins, fill you up without filling you out. They help to give you a more satisfied feeling, especially a few hours after you've eaten them. So remember, you want carbohydrates. You want that as part of your diet. It's important for all kinds of bodily functions, and it gives you quick energy. But protein is going to stay with you for that 3 to 4 hours, which is what we're looking for until our next meal or our next snack. The other thing is that as you're losing weight, listen, none of us are interested in losing weight. We're interested in losing fat. That's what we want to lose. You want to keep your muscle mass. You want to keep burning calories even when at rest. And muscle is what does that. Eating enough protein is going to help you keep on that muscle mass so that you don't lose a ton of weight and then gain it all back because you don't have muscle that's burning calories for you anymore. So we want to be more satisfied, feel fuller for longer, keep the muscle mass. So we've got to get enough protein to do that. And when we're restricting our food, we want to make sure that the balance of that restriction is good so that it's not too much carbohydrates or too much protein or too much fats. You want to look at it. Now, the nice thing about Smart Points is it gives you all of that information all wrapped up in one number. And you will notice that a lot of your 0-point foods are lean proteins. We're encouraging you to eat those. So how much protein should you be getting? Well, it depends on what you weigh. So what most people shoot for, what science says you should shoot for, is 1/3 of your calories should be from lean proteins. The problem is that most of us following Weight Watchers don't track our calories. So then how much should we be getting actually in the points, or how many grams of protein? So here's the formula. Body weight, your current actual body weight, times 0.36 for most women, or times 0.44 for most men or women who lift weights a lot. So it's your body weight times this. I would just use the 0.36 or somewhere in between, which looks like this. If you weigh 200 pounds, times 0.36, that gives you 72 grams of protein that you should be having every day. That's your optimal number. That's kind of where you want to be. So now that you know how much protein you should be getting, how do you find out what's got protein and what doesn't? I said I wasn't going to talk about chicken breast, but chicken breast is the thing that most people come up with. 3 ounces is 0 points. and it has 26.1 grams of protein. So that gets you a third of your way towards your protein intake. There's other things, though, that you could be using besides meats, besides fish. The next thing that comes up is usually beans, right? So a cup of black beans is 0 points, and it's 14.5 grams. Okay. Or I have a can of kidney beans here, and I wrote it down. 1 cup, 0 points, is 18 grams of protein. So that's going to be a great source. But there's other things that you might not have thought of. Actually, I looked on Google, and you know what Google said? They said quinoa. Quinoa. This is what it looks like. Quinoa. This one's actually mixed with some millet, which is another grain. But it's 6 points for 3/4 of a cup, or regular quinoa is 6 points for 1 cup. It's a grain. You cook it. It's kind of high in points. 6 points is the same as rice or anything else, and you're gonna grab 6 grams of protein from that. Other things that I think are interesting: edamame. Edamame in pods. 1 cup is 0 points. You get 12.1 grams. That's a lot of grams of protein from a vegetarian source. Some people like peanut butter. Again, I think it's pointy. 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is 6 points, and it's just over 7 grams of protein. How about milk? Skim milk or fat-free milk. A cup of it is 3 points. You've got 8 grams of protein from that. I think much more interesting are things like clementines. Clementines. Did you know these have protein? Did you know that? They do. Not a lot, but almost everything has protein. So 2 clementines are 0 points, and they've got a gram and a little, 1.3 grams, just from 2 clementines. Or a banana. A large banana has 1.5 grams of protein. My favorite, which I think is kind of unusual, is cottage cheese. Cottage cheese, 1 cup of fat-free cottage cheese. And here's a trick for you. Low-fat cottage cheese is the same number of points as fat-free cottage cheese. So you can take your pick of whichever one you prefer. But it's 3 points. Did you know it's got 28 grams of protein? That's a ton of protein. That's more than our chicken breast. Our chicken breast had 26. So here's the takeaway. It's not just fun with how many points can we get or figure out. If you use the app, when you put something in, like here's how I figured out a banana. When you put it in, underneath track, you're going to see nutrition details, right? That's where I see the protein. Can you see it? 1.5 grams of protein in this banana. That's where you're going to find it. So here's the challenge. Here's what I want you to do today or tomorrow, just sometime soon. I want you to really consider, am I hungry? Am I not hungry? Especially at the end of the day, when it starts, all that willpower goes down, like I talked about in a previous video, and you're left with really feeling hungry. I want you to look at how much protein you've eaten for the day. So I want you to go back and just start writing it down. Look at things like, I ate a banana, I pull it up, 1.5, and I make a little list just for one day of how much protein am I getting. Remember that formula. Remember what you're trying to get to. Your body weight times 0.36. Experiment with this. If you're hungry, let's start eliminating reasons that you might be hungry. Let's start seeing what might be going on. One of the first things to eliminate with real hunger is, are you getting enough protein? You might track this for a day and find out that you're fine. You might track it for a weekday and a weekend day, because some of us have more struggles on weekends. It might be that your protein is dropping off, but just track it, get the information. You know that that's what I'm all about. I'm all about giving you the information so that you can make your own choices about what works for you and your body, because every body is different. Keep an eye out if you live in Bel Air. We're going to be having an open house sometime soon, and I'm really thrilled about what that means. But otherwise, stick with me on here. More challenges will be coming and tips and tricks. If you like this, go ahead and hit subscribe. There'll be a button coming up somewhere, and you can hit that. Thank you, guys.